Buckle up because tensions between the United States and Mexico have hit a dangerous crossroads. Mexico's bold threat to cut off vital oil and automotive supplies could ignite a full-blown tariff war, sending shockwaves through the automotive industry and beyond. With Trump's aggressive stance on tariffs and Mexico's strategic countermeasures in motion, the stakes have never been higher. Will this trade conflict spiral into economic chaos, or can diplomacy prevail?
All right, so get this. Mexico is like making a huge power move into the EV market.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems like the U.S. and Canada, they were kind of caught flat-footed.
Interesting.
So we're diving into this article. Mexico electriza el mercado. Impacto en EUUE Canada.
Okay.
To really figure out what's going on here. How are they doing this?
I mean, it is surprising to a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
You know, what's fascinating about this whole thing is that it wasn't like a sudden shift.
Right.
They've actually been, working on this for a while,
Yeah.
quietly investing in things like lithium mining and building out all this charging infrastructure, particularly along these key trade routes.
I see.
And they've even managed to get a lot of investment from some really big EV manufacturers.
So it's not just like they're talking about it.
Right.
They're actually putting in the work.
Exactly. They're putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the big picture here? Like, what's the strategy? Are they just trying to become like a manufacturing hub?
That's a good question.
Is that the main goal?
I think it goes beyond that.
Okay.
I mean, the article seems to suggest that they're really aiming to be like a leader in the entire electric mobility ecosystem.
Like the whole thing.
The whole thing. So think about, battery production, research and development into, new EV technologies.
Right.
Even, becoming a major player in that whole global electric vehicle supply chain.
Which makes sense when you think about where they are on the map.
Oh, absolutely.
Right between the U.S. and South America.
Yeah.
Existing trade relationships.
Yeah.
With both. So speaking of trade, let's talk about this whole tariff tango thing.
Oh, yeah.
That the article mentions.
Well, yeah, they specifically mentioned that Mexico might be thinking about, putting tariffs on some of the parts that are used in gas-powered vehicles.
Okay.
And you know what? Those parts are mainly from the U.S. and Canada.
Ah, so that's how they have some leverage.
Exactly.
To kind of push their neighbors to get with the program a little bit.
To get on board a little faster with this whole EV thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Mexico's kind of playing 4D chess here.
It seems that way.
Using EVs, not just for the economic reasons, but as like a geopolitical tool.
I think that's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's working because the article highlights how this has brought in billions in foreign investment.
Wow.
Particularly from, European and Asian car companies who are looking for somewhere else to manufacture their cars.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So the U.S. and Canada must be getting a little nervous right now.
I would think so.
What are some of the implications here for them?
Yeah, I mean, it's a wake-up call for sure.
Yeah.
The article says that if the U.S. and Canada don't change up their game plan, they risk losing their top spot in the North American auto industry. And it's not even just about the money. It's about, falling behind in a sector that's only getting bigger and more important.
A critical emerging technology.
Exactly.
Yeah. So best case scenario here. Could we see like a North American electric alliance come out of this?
Oh, that'd be great.
Or is it more likely to be a everyone for themselves kind of thing?
It's really hard to say. There's a chance for both.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have this situation where they all work together.
Yeah.
And that'd create, like a massive electric vehicle manufacturing force.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Right. Like North America would be the global leader in this whole electric transition.
Right.
But, you have national interests.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You have competition, economically.
Yeah.
And that could lead to things getting a little messy.
Yeah, a more fragmented approach.
Yeah, and it could slow everything down.
Well, Mexico is definitely shaking things up.
Oh, absolutely.
This whole electric revolution is so interesting to watch.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
It makes you wonder, are other countries going to follow Mexico's example and use EVs as leverage in global trade and politics?
That's a great question, and I think that's something we're all going to have to keep an eye on and see how it plays out.
Yeah, absolutely.